What's up, world? It's your boy, man, Remy the Boss. So look, I want to introduce y'all to the trucking business, the trucking industry. A little bit about myself as far as me and my background, my experience. I had a Class B license since 2013. That's when Juice was born, my daughter. And originally I wanted to just drive buses. I wanted to drive buses for DC Metro. Reason why, they pay good, they offer great benefits, and also a lot of overtime. But however, I got my Class B and it didn't work out. I ended up working for the state of Maryland. And man, one thing I do know about the business, it's a great business. It pays good. You can take care of your family. So I want all my men and all my women, if you're looking for a great way to make money, this is definitely one of them. And also, it's recession proof. So, all right, that's a little bit about myself. Now let's go into detail. So, here's a tractor. And I want to teach y'all step by step what you need to know in order to get your learners so that you can get your Class A license. Step by step. First and foremost, let's download the CDL Prep app. Take out your phone, download the CDL Prep app. You got a smartphone, take it out, download that, study that, learn that. From general knowledge all the way down to doubles and triples, to study that. That way you can prepare yourself as far as getting your learners. After you've done that, look up a school near you. A school near you, whether it's a community college or just a trucking school. And let's get enrolled in school. Definitely, I recommend going to school versus going through a company, because you'll have more leverage, you'll have more freedom as far as where you'll end up and where you'll start your career. So, if, for instance, me, I paid my way through school. I recently went to CDS, and paid my way through school, and I was able to pick where I want to work at versus me going to work for a company. Go through a company like Swift, for instance. Not bad mouthing nobody, but just if I was to go through a company to get my CDL, that means I gotta work for them. That means I got a contract with them. So you don't have the freedom. So I definitely recommend you just pay out your pocket, go to school. It's gonna cost you about between $2,000–$3,000 depending on your location. But either way, it's worth it. So, all right, cool. So once you do that, download the app, study that, and I want to introduce you to what you need to know next, which is learning this truck inside out. Getting very familiar with this truck, learning this truck inside out. So, all right, let's start. It's a lot to learn about this truck, inside out, inside out. Just want to prepare y'all for the ultimate test as far as the DMV. You got to learn this stuff inside out. So as you see, the company I work for is Abilene. Man, much love and respect towards Abilene, man. They actually gave me an opportunity, man. A lot of companies wasn't trying to give me an opportunity based on my background. But man, shout out to Abilene. The companies that I had, when I finished school, I had a list of like 5 different companies. And man, none of them came through for me. So, thank God for Abilene. All right. So, what you need to know in order to pass your ultimate test is this truck inside out. I'm gonna upload several different videos, but the first one is basically just me going around this truck and preparing you for your ultimate test. So let's start with the exhaust. Let's start with the exhaust. We'll work our way. Very simple. What you're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to go around the truck. I'm gonna upload a video after this, and it'll give you more in broad, in-depth detail in regards to what you have to say repetitiously in order to pass your test. So, for instance, I'm not going to say all the parts or whatever, but I'll give you an example of what you're going to have to do. So, for instance, you'll point at the exhaust, for instance, it's right here. And you'll say something like this: it's not bent, it's not cracked, it's not broken, it's not missing no nuts, bolts, or screws. And that exhaust system, it has something called carbon soot, which can build up. So, and you'll just simply say, I don't see any leaks on that exhaust system. And you will simply go around this truck repetitiously and just constantly name out different parts. The reason why you need to know this type of stuff is because this is a $150,000 truck, man, and it's about safety. You need to know these parts inside out. It's about safety. So, that's just what it is. So, all right, let me open up this hood. I have both nights today. Thanks. All right. So, in order to pass your CDL test at the DMV, you got to go around this vehicle and name these parts inside out, inside out. And I can say that's probably about the toughest part as far as learning. Studying that app, getting very familiar with the app, testing yourself over and over until you get it right. Once you get comfortable with your test results on the app, thank God for the app, because back in 2013, no app existed for this. So right now is the perfect time to do it. So getting familiar with that, and then preparing for this. And I'm uploading, like I say, several more videos to keep you guys tuned in on what you need to know. All right, so for instance, you would just go around the truck, man, and you would just point and explain to the inspector things like this. For instance, here you have your hoses. If it's rubber, you'll say it's not cut, cracked, dry rotted, or bulging, and you see or hear no leaks. If the part is metal, for instance, here's your turbo. It's not, you'll say, if it's metal, you'll say it's not bent, cracked, or broken. It's not missing any nuts, bolts, or screws. Okay? So if it's rubber, metal, and let me see. Okay. Here you have your alternator. Right down there, you have your alternator. For instance, the alternator, you'll say it's not bent, cracked, or broken. It's not missing no nuts, bolts, or screws. Also, that alternator is belt driven. And you're just working your way out, top to bottom, left to right, inside out the vehicle. You come down to your suspension. You have a leaf spring right here. If more than 1/4 of a leaf was missing, you would have to put this truck out of service. And you have your brake chamber and locking ring right here. This is your braking system. You got brake pads, brake linings, brake drums. So for instance, this is air. For instance, you would say it's not bent, cracked, or broken. It's not missing no nuts, bolts, and screws for this brake chamber and locking ring. And also, you don't hear any leaks. So just a small example of what you would have to say, and it's very repetitious, in order to get your CDL. So let's come on the other side. All right. So for instance, on this side, you have your coolant reservoir. You'll simply point and talk to the instructor and say it's not bent, cracked, or broken. It's not missing any nuts, bolts, and screws. This also has a sight glass so that you can check for its proper levels. If needed to add an adequate amount, you will then fill through right here, this cap. All right. Here you have a fuel filter. Here's your power steering. All right. Here's where your engine oil go. remember, if it's metal, you say it's not bent, cracked, or broken. If it's glass, for instance, your windshield, it's not chipped, cracked, or broken. They just want to. The reason is they want to see that you know this stuff inside out, inside out. Like I said, I'm gonna upload a video so that you guys can see my instructor doing it step by step. All right, and let's walk around to the back. Oh no, I'm sorry. Let's go right here. For instance, in here you have every truck will have a fire extinguisher, fully charged, up to date, properly rated. Also inside here, you will have circuit breakers, and also inside you will have 3 triangles in case of emergency. So that's what's inside that storage compartment. Here's your IFTA sticker. So I always want to make sure this is up to date. That's basically like your inspection sticker. All right. Really quick. Back here you have 2 tanks. Each tank's 100 gallons each. Costs about roughly $520 to fill them up. Right here, these are your air lines, also known as your glad hands. This is your electrical line. This is what you hook up to your trailer to feed it air. So this here is your catwalk. It's called a catwalk. Yep. All right. Oh, back to the fuel tanks right quick. You can get 1,000 miles out of a full tank. 1,000 miles out of a full tank. And I'll take y'all on a trip one day and see exactly. We're gonna just welcome to my world. You're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna learn a whole lot. I'm gonna take y'all on a journey. All right, so here's your 5th wheel. And once again, in order to pass the test, I'm gonna upload a video so you guys can just study, rewind it 100 times, and just practice so that you can prepare for your ultimate DMV test. All right. And let me show you something real quick, simple. This is your splash guard. This is your mud flap. This is your airbags. And if it's rubber, you will simply point and talk to tell the instructor, hey, it's not cut, cracked, dry rotted, or bulging. If it's metal, once again, it's not bent, cracked, or broken. It's not missing nuts, bolts, or screws as far as this mount. And back here, you also have suspension. There's your suspension. Right here, you have your drive shaft, that thing that spins in the middle. That's your drive shaft. You have this is called a skid plate. This is the skid plate. In the middle here, you have something called a locking jaw. This is what sits around the kingpin, not the shank, but the head of the kingpin of that trailer. And I'll introduce that to y'all too. Yeah, that's that locking jaw. That's what keeps that tractor and trailer together. All right. In the back of the tractor, of course, you have your lights, brake lights, reverse light. And you will simply explain to the instructor, hey, they're not being cracked or broken, they're not missing on nuts, bolts, and screws. They're also red in color. These are your steer tires. These are your drive tires. All right. So once again, I'm gonna upload another video so that you guys can study and practice and constantly go over it to prepare yourself to get your CDL. It's time to make money. It's time to live good, live comfortable, and take care of your family. And this is one way that I can introduce you to put you on the right path to success. That's what it's all about. I want everybody to eat. All right. Done deal. Stay tuned for more videos. And this is only the beginning, man. This is only the beginning. I'm gonna talk about what it's like to work for a company. And I'm gonna also talk about the owner-operator side of the business as well. So it's a lot to learn. And welcome to my journey, your journey. We in this together. Let's do it. Remember the boss. I'm out.